Dan Kapellen, it's my pleasure to be with you on stage again. We've been working together for over a year.
Yeah.
Y- Yeah, I mean, you've got an incredible history. And you know, my favorite part of it is when I introduce you, I usually say, guys, in your car is something that Dan created when he was so many years in the automotive industry. And your inventions are still there, your resources are still there, your solutions are still there. You want to give us a little bit of an update on your career as you started, Dan?
Well, I'll kind of just give a quick synopsis going back to my early entrepreneurship. And I grew up on a dairy farm, a small family dairy farm in Wisconsin with no aspirations, no dreams, no money. And it was in the middle of the county. And so a trip out of the county was a big deal. But, I was able to read books. We did have a library in our little town. I had great teachers who provided great motivation. And I was the first in my family to go to college. And so there I got even more motivation to enter the automotive industry. The beauty of having people who are you're around and who are around you and who you are open-minded with is that you get exposed to new ideas. And so I worked for the automotive companies, worked for Ford Motor Company. My college thesis was on the first hybrid. I was on a hybrid powertrain, and my professor ultimately became the chief consultant to Toyota when they came out with the first Prius. So things evolve and you never know where they're going to go. You can plan a little bit, but you can look back after the many decades that I've had and say, wow, what an amazing life. What a privilege to be born in the country that I was born in with all these opportunities and ultimately the opportunity to visit 19 countries to work with customers on business. And today I'm a business coach. And I think back sometimes to starting on that farm and marvel at where life has taken me.
I love it, Dan. And it's been truly my honor to work with you all year. You're one of our next level. I call you my babies, but it's probably the
Yeah.
first time in a long time you've been called my baby. But Dan, I've seen you grow and emerge, and just done some wonderful things. You've joined us in Vegas. You've joined us in Austin. You're so committed to making this entire venture work. And then not only that, but you're the epitome of someone who can take your past experiences, your future experiences, and then you're even diving now into mortgage and real estate. So you're one of those I never stop learning, baby, and I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for being part of the Standout Stars and our wonderful Next Level group. So today we're talking about the three key people that you need for business growth and personal freedom. And I love the way you've laid all this outline out. Dan, I'm going to turn this over to you because you've got some gems to share.
Well, first of all, Tony, congratulations on what is this, your fifth week
Yeah,
of
the
Kindness
fifth.
Summit? Wow. And I've been part of four of them.
I know.
It's really exciting. And you're one of the three key people for me that I'm going to talk about today when I get to alliances. And it's actually three categories of people. So, I'll just give you a quick overview. The first one is yourself. And I think people have been told that success begins with you. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. The second is the loyal following you develop, your advocates. And I'll talk a little bit about that. And then third are your alliances. These are the people who are able to do things that you're not really good at, but you have something in common, some kind of a common goal or a common audience, and you find ways to work together, promote each other to each other's success. So let me go into that first person, um, and that is yourself. It is so important to know why you are in business, why you want to get up in the morning. And all of us want to make money. Every entrepreneur becomes an entrepreneur because they want to make money, but they're going to run into obstacles. They're going to have those days where they feel they don't want to do what has to be done. And if it's only about the money, you're going to burn out plain and flat. So you need to know your why. And let me tell you a story. Happened this last Labor Day weekend. I was at the Sheboygan County Fair in Wisconsin, where I grew up, but I don't live anymore. I'm now in Florida. And I was there with my daughter and her family and my little granddaughter. She took me around everywhere. We had these bands that you put on your wrist and you can go on unlimited rides. And she'd grab my hand, come on, Grandpa, let's go on this ride. Let's go on this ride. We spent the afternoon just running from ride to ride to ride nonstop. And her excitement just spilled over to me and my excitement. And her parents could do nothing but sort of like hang back and keep an eye on things and smile. And as we were getting to the end of the day, we're on the merry-go-round going up and down. And I turned to her and I said, Maddie, someday you're going to remember this fun day with Grandpa when you bring your grandchildren to the fair. And she kind of wrinkles her nose and I can see the wheels turning. And she looks at me and she says, you'll be dead. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. It's going to be true, but I didn't see that coming. And I thought for a moment, I said, Maddie, but will you remember me? And she says, oh, yeah, I'll always remember you, Grandpa. And I said, as long as you remember me, I'll at least be alive in your mind. And the legacy for the next generations in my family is really one of my whys. I want to do something that is going to be a benefit that they can say with pride what their grandpa did and the impact that may have had on them. So your why is important. It's serving people. I love serving people. I can tell you stories about the thank yous that I've gotten, sometimes in the form of restaurant gift cards. Um, the other thing about yourself is your mindset. Do you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? With a growth mindset, you're going to accomplish so much more than what you ever dreamed of. With a growth mindset, you're open to new ideas. You're open to input from other people. You are open to input from your advocates and your loyal followers. You're open to input from your alliances. You're even open to input from yourself in those moments of quiet reflection when thoughts come into your mind and suggest these new ideas. A fixed mindset is somebody who just says, that's not going to work. And you know what? You'll be right, but you're not going to feel fulfilled. So I greatly advocate a growth mindset. We could probably talk for the rest of the summit on growth mindset and its importance, but I just want to alert you to it because there's probably other speakers who are going to provide some nuggets for you that you can bring into your mindset and help you grow, because your business can only grow as big as you grow. Another idea about yourself, getting back to the why, is what is your purpose for existing? There's a book I read by an author by the name of John Strelicky called The Big Five for Life. And he talks about that purpose for existing. And he built his company around that. He built that into how his employees view their lives. And it provides energy for them. And he tells the stories of that. And it's a semi-true story. Fictionalized, I suppose, in Hollywood, they would call it taking, a little bit of movie license or whatever you want to call it. And he does that in the book and really comes out with some amazing stories about how people knowing and being accountable for articulating their purpose for existing made a difference in their life, in their how they worked with customers and how they interacted with their family. So I promised formulas in this presentation. So the first formula to wrap up the discussion about yourself as that first key person for your business growth and personal freedom is to show up as a leader with every person in every interaction every day. So PID, every person, every interaction, every day. And so, why is knowing yourself and meeting yourself and understanding your purpose so important? Number one, it's going to keep you from doing stupid stuff. Number two, it's going to keep you from wasting time. And number three, you will see how that fits in to the other two people who are key to your business growth and personal freedom. Because when you can work with those people, you will not only grow your business, but you're going to find yourself with more free time to enjoy your family, to enjoy life, and to feel fulfilled. So who is that second person? That's your loyal fans, your audience, your customers. And the formula for them is to excite, engage, and enroll. These are the advocates for your products. I mean, you can talk eloquently about your products and services all you want, but when somebody else talks about your products and services with passion, that's going to mean a whole lot more than when you're talking about it, because if you didn't have the passion, people would say, I don't want that product, regardless of how good it is, because the founder, the owner, the salesperson don't have the passion that convinces me that it's going to be worthwhile for me. And here again is where that PID becomes important, to show up as a leader with every person and every interaction every day. Person, interaction, day. Because you never know who you're going to meet, that person in the grocery line. And it doesn't have to be about your business. It can be just a little chit chat. Yesterday, I spoke at a conference in Fort Lauderdale, about 4 hours from me, and it was called the Global Vision Conference. And listened to speakers all day. And near the end of the day, I went to the restroom. I came back, and some guy had come in. He sat down in the chair between myself and another person. And I just kind of struck up a little bit of a conversation, introducing myself. He introduced himself. I had never met him before. I didn't recognize the name. And then between the next couple of speakers, we chit-chatted a little bit, had some fun. And then the organizer announces the last keynote speaker of the day who's going to wrap this thing up. And usually you think of a keynote speaker as being at the beginning. Well, this guy, he gets up and goes to the stage. It turns out he was the keynote speaker. He is somebody who travels the world as an inspirational speaker, much in demand. He is a self-made multi-millionaire. And I Googled his name right away to find out, holy cow, I did not know that this is who I was sitting next to. Kind of like the, sitting next to Les Brown, except I recognize Les Brown. This guy would be probably on the same top 10 list with Les Brown. He's that well known. And, you think about it, I wasn't talking about my business. I was just showing up as a leader, kind of leading a conversation. And he, if in the future, and he left his email address with us, in the future, if I were to email him, you think that he might respond because we had this interaction? Well, maybe not. He's a busy guy. He travels the world. And the reason he was a keynote at the end is because he had flown from another event and had just arrived in Fort Lauderdale late in the day. So, but having had this, I certainly increased the chance of a response from 0 to something greater than 0, right? So you never know when showing up as a leader can be something that develops that next relationship. Third person are your alliances. There, let me tell you another formula. Par. I like golfing, so par has meaning to me. So, but this par has two A's in it instead of one, so it's PAAR. Purpose plus alignment plus action equals results. That's par. That's where your why comes in, your vision, your core values. When you speak with somebody and you are showing up as that leader, what is the purpose of that conversation? Now, you may not know whether the person you're talking to is going to be an advocate or a potential alliance partner. First of all, what is an alliance partner? Well, for yourself, you operate in your triad of success, your triad of genius. And think of three circles in a Venn diagram with something in the middle. And one of those circles represents everything you like to do. The other circle represents everything that you're good at. And the third circle represents what you can monetize. Those activities that represent all three is your zone of success, your zone of genius, your triad where you want to operate. And guess what? Other people probably operate in a different triad than you. And so you want to look out, you want to find these people who operate in a different triad of success. I know Toni is, she's the very creative person and the big thinker and the overview. Does she like doing all the backroom work of creating the backgrounds for these summits and registering everybody and making sure all the links are working and all that? Maybe she does, but from what I know of her, no, that's not her zone of success or zone of genius. That's where Lisa, who you saw right at the beginning, comes in. She's great at this back end stuff and she loves it. So when you're meeting people, you want to sort of, even though you want to show up as this leader, you're the one who others are looking at, who you want them to follow you. It doesn't mean to be arrogant, but you want confidence. And they're going to follow you, and you are going to listen because leaders listen. And listening doesn't mean just bringing input, but making sure that what you heard, you understand. So you kind of feed back a little bit to that person, and all of a sudden you say, whoa, this person is going to be great in helping me at this or that. And you know what? I can help them at the areas where they perhaps don't like to operate or are not their zone of genius. And so you help each other. And that becomes that third person, your alliance. So what about the two A's and the R? Well, that second A, like I said, is for alignment. So you're looking for that alignment. Who are the people in which we both are enthusiastic to accomplish a certain objective, to serve a certain audience? The second A is for act. When you find that person, make darn sure that you get their contact information and give your contact information. Don't just give your contact information. They may lose it and not follow up. Get their contact information so the ball is in your court. And if you don't follow up and just have an amazing alliance there or an amazing advocate, if this person falls into category number two, that's on you, not on that other person. And so you're the one who's developing the systems and the follow-up methods to just to make sure that you follow up, to make sure that you're growing your business and finding these people with whom you can have that personal freedom. And some of these people become your friends. You love hanging out with them. That's personal freedom as well. So, Toni, I kind of rambled on here for a long time. Did I spark any questions?
I I absolutely love. Can you hear me? Are we okay? I absolutely love it when you ramble on because every time you do that, you get really deep into the heart of the matter, and you make me start thinking. And look at that, you're being told you're awesome as we speak, my love.
Oh, that's so cool. I love
But
it.
I love the way that you've narrowed it down. I love the way that you bring value to the audience. I love the way so the steps that Dan has done is he's taken basically a 30-minute talk and delivered it in 22 minutes, by the way, which you did some great stuff for. But you also turned it into one of the three people, and we're all one or more of those three people, right? So now you've made it relatable. And so I'm not going to sit here and diagnose your whole talk, but I think it's brilliant. And so are you, Dan. So I want to thank you for being part of my world and the Week of Kindness and everything else that we've done together. Um, but I do have a question for you. So if you have person one, two, and three, um, is there, if I can pinpoint a person by the type of personality that they have and the things that they can offer, which one do you think is the most important to me if I'm trying to run a successful business?
Well, the way that you would want to look at, I mean, to run a successful business, there's no one thing or one person, which is why I say that it's categories.
Right.
Um, you can take a course on, what it takes to run a business. By the way, that's some of what I offer in my VIP gift, which is
Right.
called Position Your Business for Success. So everybody who signs up as a VIP is going to get that gift. But look at the pieces that it takes to run a business
Right.
and just maybe write them down on a piece of paper. Put a check mark by the things that you're good at. Put a check mark then by those that you like doing. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you like it, and just because you like something doesn't mean you're good at it. And then the third check mark, if you're somebody who wants to make money and and to serve people, we need the money to serve.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I learned the difference between being rich and being wealthy from that same guy told you about, who he teaches finance as one of his zones of genius. And he said, being wealthy means what you have something to give away. Being rich means you just have something.
Oh,
And
that's
for
a great
me,
distinction.
I want
Yeah.
to be wealthy,
Yeah, me
not just
too.
rich.
Yeah.
I don't want to hoard it. I want to give it away. But to have something to give away, you've got to generate it. So that monetization piece is important, and that becomes a limiting belief. One of the things about us is that we're kind of like, a kernel of popcorn, right? Have you ever eaten an unpopped kernel? It hurts your teeth and it doesn't taste very good anyway. But you provide a little motivation to that kernel in the form of heat, and what happens? That shell, which represents our limiting beliefs, our obstacles, that shell cracks open and it pops out into this flower of white that we put some butter on, and we put it in our mouth and we go, mm, I love this.
Yeah. You're, and that's one of my favorite things to eat. You're so funny. Gee, did
Yeah,
he
I'm a
know
big
that about
popcorn fan
me?
myself.
Dan, so let's talk about gifts. We've got a few minutes left. So you did bring the general gift and the VIP gift. Let's talk about your general gift.
Yes, my general gift is on the topic of everyday leadership. You might have guessed since I talked about it quite a bit. So the title is Everyday Leadership 10 Key Skills to Increase Your Value and Impact. The more value we develop, the more impact we can make, the greater the legacy that we're going to leave. And there's 10 key skills that have been studied in great leaders. And this book, this everyday leadership that you have available for download, everybody who's part of this has it available for download, um, walks you through helping you develop your own roadmap to
Yeah.
leadership. And you're not going to do it in a day. It's not something where you sit down at night, you read through it and say, that's nice, and you put it aside. There's going to be spaces in there where you write your own thoughts, your own journal, and then you put these one by one into practice so they become part of your everyday life.
I love it, Dan. You've got so much to offer, and you've been there. You've been all over the world. You've got some incredible experiences. I think of you highly, and folks, I'm proud as heck that Dan is with us again for his fifth week of
No,
kindness.
fourth.
Your
You
fourth
did
week of
five.
kindness.
Yeah.
All right. So now, folks, you know that everybody gets a gift. So because of our sponsors, and Dan is one of them, I want to let you know that that's why you have a free ticket. Everyone has a free ticket. So please go to weekofkindness.com, register, and that way you can get all these gifts. But if you want the VIP gift, you see that we have a charity called Better Vision for Children. So the VIP upgrade is a $97 upgrade, of which we give 10% to the Better Vision for Children. Standout Stars goal for 2023 is to raise $10,000 for the Better Vision for Children, and you get to help us. So here's what I was trying to say was, if you upgrade to the VIP level, number one, you have a year to watch all 60 plus speakers. Number two, you have a year to enjoy all of the free gifts. And then on top of that, you have a year to enjoy the great VIP gifts. So go ahead and upgrade your ticket. We'd love to have you join us for the year. We'd love your comments. We want to hear more from you. I'm seeing a bunch of great comments to you, Dan, already. So let's talk about your VIP gift.
So the VIP gift is titled Position Your Business for Success. It is actually part of a much larger course that I have. And what this does, it has two videos and then the audio version for those who want to listen while they're out walking or driving or something like that, or just relaxing. And then two workbooks that help them uh, create their own roadmap to position their business for success. And
Perfect.
so it's very powerful. Each of the videos is about an hour, and this is a significant gift that has incredible value. It's a $268 value just for this little piece. When I sell these by themselves, but it's actually a two video course. Has a lot of value. I didn't give the link for the everyday leadership, and I'll give the link for this.
We'll
So,
get it. Yeah, we'll get
okay,
it. And by the way,
so
you're
for
on
the
your
everyday
speaker.
leadership that everybody has access to, it's leadership.peakbiz.biz.
Yeah, I did see that.
Did
All
you?
right.
Oh,
So
okay, I didn't. So, okay.
now, Dan, you also have, we can make an offer. So, guys, if you're already here and you know you want to work with Dan, Dan, what is the offer and how can they get a hold of you?
I offer a one-on-one coaching. It's called Jumpstart Your Business, and the first consultation, 15, 30 minutes. It's whether we have that alignment that I talked about.
Yeah.
Are your goals something that I can help you deliver on? And if that's the case, I have a tiered package of coaching. And depending on the number of coaching sessions you want, the lowest would be 5 coaching sessions for $500. I'm sorry, it's 10 coaching sessions for $500 within a year. And you determine when you
Nice.
want those coaching sessions.
Yeah,
And then I
absolutely.
have another tier as well.
Love it. Love it. All right, guys. So now you know this is Dan Kapellen. He is my friend. And I recommend what he's doing because I've seen him work and it's brilliant. So, Dan, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Way to jumpstart everybody's business. Dan, thank you again for being part of our world on Standout Stars and being one of our featured speakers on the Speakers Bureau.
Thank you,
Thank
Toni.
you.
This was a thrill.
You guys were amazing. I was back there watching and listening. Hey, Dan, can I ask you one more question?
Yes, you can.
How can we get in touch with you if we want to jumpstart our business?
Oh, you had it on the screen. That I did see, and that is go to my link tree, and it's
Yeah.
real easy. Linktree, all one word, linkttree .peakbiz.biz. And it's peak as in climbing the mountain, PEAK, biz, BIZ.
So it's Linktree, all one word, or link.tr?
Linktree is one word.
I'll put it in.
Okay, if you could put it in the private chat, guys. This is what happens with live, right? You know me, I'm always trying to figure
Actually,
something
you
out.
had
And
it
how
on
can we do it?
the 3/4.
Okay,
You had it on
you
the
should have it
1/3.
now, Lisa. I think you had it on the screen
perfect.
earlier.
All right, here we go. So listen, guys, if you want to, excuse me, jumpstart your business, I'm going to add this right here in here and for everyone to see. And then we're going to ask my wonderful moderators to put this in as well. Actually, I'm going to drop it in there, create that banner and do that. And then we're going to show this. There we go. Jumpstart your business. And then this is where we go and reach him as well. And thank you so much. I want to be sure people get there and that they have the opportunity to work with you. All right, gang. So we are going to roll right into our next